Rich.
Welcome, good day, greetings, grand risings, good afternoon, good day, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome, thank you for being here with me and Nia.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Rich?
I'm okay, mate.
Sunday show, right? But we're like a little bit like small crowd, but quality one, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A Sunday show, a different sort of Sunday show. Things are just a bit weird at the moment, so it's just kind of taking each day, and yeah. So, but it's always good to speak to you, man, and we need to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
We've got
And it's a good opportunity. Like I told you that today, at this moment now, they're doing a cool documentary on Hash News over here. And we're gonna see what's gonna be with that movie over here. I'm gonna slide the camera over here so you can see the camera, man. Guys.
Hey, look at that, proper professional.
Yeah, superstar over here. So I'm ready to go for this show, and we're gonna cover some topics. I don't know, related to me, I guess. I don't know. Or
to you and Israel, we want to catch up with what's going on in Israel at the moment, and we want to catch up with what's going on in Rehovot and
I'm surfing
everything.
on this whole ego trip right now, so I'm like totally up to it with whatever you want out of
No
me.
problem, man.
Yeah, Israel, Rehovot, flat something, whatever.
Dance festivals.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. So I'm with you, Rich, for this show, and come on, let's go.
So we'll just give a quick shout out. We've only got a couple of people in at the moment. We've got Bernie, the crypto alchemist, Berno, Mind's Third Eye Science guy, Leafy, Just JP, Nathan, To Joy Now if you're still here, babe. Hey, Squirrel Sniper, and Jenny T.I. Murphy. So yeah, we got a couple of people in now. We did have Roxanne briefly, and she's going to do her best to come back in. People aren't seeing a lot of Roxanne at the moment because things are just pretty crazy. So every opportunity she gets, I speak to her, and it can be at random times because of internet connection and everything. But she's had to go. She's just had to go and sort out some stuff for the family, and she'll pop back in as soon as she can. But before then, that looks like a nice cup of coffee you got there, sir.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Cheers. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Ting. Nice and milky. Yeah. So. Right. Well, let's catch up.
You're British today, right? It's like 5. No, here it's like 5 o'clock. So it's like. Do you believe in British time with tea, whatever? You guys.
Time for tea. Well, I don't drink tea anymore. So, and I thought tea was that's when you have tiffin, and that's at 5. So, for you're at tiffin time now. Time for tiffin.
Yeah. But
I don't know how many people get that reference.
Those British accent places. I'm sorry, Rich, but yeah, I do appreciate that, and I will say to you, I don't know if I said like in any other shows or like I know calls that we had, but I actually very admire the British. Okay, I don't know, something with their style, their grace, something, the accent, whatever. For me personally, it's not because they ruled over Israel like 67 years ago, but it's just and they're good at football usually.
But the thing is, it's really interesting that you say that, right? Because what we've had portrayed to us about the monarchy and everything, it's like I'm echoing back now. Have you got any earphones? Yeah, let me just do your echo cancellation again.
Oh,
Um,
do you get
yeah,
echo?
so you know what we've been fed, the whole narrative that we've been fed about the elites, basically about the ones with the money and the power and the land, has all been a complete bullshit lie. But it's like they have based it on real actions of real men and women, because it's not just British. It's not just British people that have these those sort of qualities. I think it's just it's been portrayed through.
I think that I kind of like got I separated, okay, between this monarchy that you're talking about this whole story of I'm talking as an outsider of like Britain, you know. So I
Mm.
kind of like separated between like the whole thing with the monarchy and the kings and whatever, and the whole and people themselves, okay. And every time that I remember like meeting a British person or whatever, I just felt really comfortable with him, and although
Do you
there's
think?
kind of yeah.
Do you think that British are genuine, sort of, not on the whole, like they're quite genuine people?
Yeah, yeah. I met a lot of Americans also in my life, so a lot more genuine than Americans, that's for sure.
Not all
Uh,
Americans, obviously. I
yeah,
mean, certain areas are worse than others. Like California, I didn't like California. I found it very plastic and fake because the everybody you couldn't seem to scratch below the surface with anybody. You couldn't get past just pleasantries and niceties, and everybody wore a mask and their armor was impenetrable, kind of thing. It's like they were.
mm,
No, I'm
before
this.
COVID time.
Have a nice
Before COVID.
day. You know,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
but seriously, when I meet up British people, so I kind of like got the feeling that they're interested in me or whatever they're like saying is all their politeness is like more honest, and more and less fake. So and and besides that, I will tell you that this is one of the many qualities that I found in you, Rich. You're British, I think, and it's like, and besides that, no, but it was lots of like other things. It's like this was just like the cherry on the top of this coffee or whatever. That you're British, but more like I think that it's more about the creative side that we got connected and about um, for me personally, I really love the whole issue of doing shows and doing content with someone who's from outside of Israel, and gonna probably talk about why I got like, this will to do that. But with you, I got like the extra bonus, of course, surfing the waves of creativity and doing these shows and whatever. So appreciate that a lot, and shall we
Well, I
begin?
appreciate I appreciate that you I appreciate you saying that, man. So let's stop blowing smoke up my ass
Yeah,
and let's
yeah,
continue with the show. And what do we have first on the plate, sir? Are we gonna?
sure. Yeah, I wish I would start with like a more happier subject, but this is like the most
Can
important.
actually hang on. Before we do, I
Yeah,
just want to return the compliments, right? Because as I said to you before, and for the benefit of your documentary, like I I had never had a friend from Israel before. I'd met a couple of people from Israel who were really American, just using their dual nationality and identifying themselves as Israeli when really they were American. So I didn't. The only real Israeli girl that I ever met was when I was in uni, and I did. She was. I remember she was absolutely stunning, but all she cared about was money. So that I was like, yeah,
sorry.
see you later, see you later. But so when I met, like when me and Roxanne met you, or when because Roxanne met you first and then introduced you to me, and it's funny because we'd been kind of asked the universe for that,
Cool.
and it happened, and you came and introduced yourself, and we were both a bit. I remember we were both a bit like, wow, that's a bit mad. Like, do you think he's legit? What do you think he's Mossad? Do you think they're trying to infiltrate us, man? And it was really funny. But do you know, talking to you, like the first time that we spoke, it just showed me that there's absolutely no difference between me and you. Nothing.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
The,
It's
the
just
only
where
reason
it's just where we live, man. Just where we live.
First off,
Go
the
on.
reason that I'm changing colors over here, it's not because I'm like excited or something like that, or you get me embarrassed. Just the lights from the camera over here, so it's I'm turning all kinds of like weird shapes and colors. Anyway, but yes, I do think that, as you said, that it was a sign. For me, it was like it was surely a sign from God. Okay, because not only me and you, of course, and Roxana. Remember, she was the first one that I met up. In the convention in Amsterdam that we over there we established Dash News. So she's the first one that I met and the one that I had the best connection with. And the thing is different because you probably know that as someone who like creates shows like that, you always need to chase after your guests, okay, to bring them to the show, to organize everything, and uh, besides that, I know you probably do like you're doing all kinds of creation with other people as well. So you probably aware of like the difficulties that there are in like pushing people to do creative stuff together. Okay,
Yeah.
and whenever I'm always at that side that I'm trying to pulling everybody over here and do these shows and. Once like that I'm encountering someone who's like wants to do those shows to do content by his initiative, that that is kind of like a sign for God for me, okay? Because I feel that in that moment God is telling me, "Oh, come on here, you got like an opportunity. Someone is getting over to you, is coming over to you, and you can't refuse it." Okay,
It's
so
an opportunity to create something,
yeah,
to
yeah, and
co-create, to
yeah,
co-create something.
and that's the thing that I got from you and Roxanne. Okay, that this co-creation and this thing that it gives me a lot more, motivation to do that. And so yeah, thank you about that. And I do sure that this is how a sign from God looks like. Okay, so for the record,
I watched a short that was on. I forget who it was that showed it. Keith shared it actually in the Signal group, and it's a woman, of quite an attractive girl, a lady actually, who had children. She took on a flight, and her youngest son, who was only like 10 months old or something, he was being a lot of trouble, and she was so stressed out, and she got on the flight, and as she was getting on the flight, she was praying to God and saying, please, please don't let him don't let him start screaming, please, not on a plane, just keep him quiet, please don't let him scream on the plane, right? She sat down, and almost immediately he started screaming, and she couldn't console him. It was really horrible, and she was most aware of everybody else on the plane and how much they were all sat there hating it, right? And the woman in front of her, she said she saw the woman turn round and sort of look at her, and she was bracing herself for the woman to say, "Can't you shut him up?" or something like that. And what the woman said was, "Can I try?" And she was so exasperated, she said, "Yes, okay, no problem." And she gave him to the woman. The woman cradled him in her arms, and she just walked up and down the aisles talking to him. He stopped crying, and she went and sat down on the seat, the attendant's flight seat, and sat there until they landed. She didn't give him back. She didn't, but the woman didn't mind, because she was glad of the break, and she knew that the woman couldn't go any, it was all safe. She didn't get a bad feeling or anything, so she left. And at the end, when the woman gave the child back to her, she had tears in her eyes, and she said, just thank you for letting me hold him. You were the answer to my prayers, because she'd lost her son the year before or something. And so she it's like for her it was like a prayer was answered, and the
Yeah,
woman whose child it was said, you were the answer to my prayer.
it's a story
You
about
know,
needs
well,
fulfillment.
it's a story about how things come through other people, how God comes to you through someone else. I mean,
Yeah,
the way I see that is because we've all got God inside us. We've all got the creative energy that created us is inside of us, and so each one of us is a little piece of God. So we are the living, walking, breathing, talking Word of God
yeah.
in
I
that
think that we're
sense.
here to continue his work. Okay, if you talked about creativity beforehand, about creation in general, I think that this is the inner spark, the divine spark that within us, because we are here to continue his work.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
did this work by Genesis chapter A. You know that he created this place in 6 days, and then he created the man, and the man should be the one who should continue on creating in this realm. And I think that yeah, we pretty much covered about what we're doing over here, and how should we serve the creator in the things that we do. And let's start, okay?
I mean, I like your how you feel about creative, about things, songs and or whatever, when it's an expressive creation that's just come out of, like when back last year, last November, I was writing songs, and I was putting them out before they were ready to be put out. I was putting
Mm.
them out with mistakes or with things not quite perfect in them yet, and I said, I always release them like two mixes too early, basically. And you said you like, but that's what you liked, because it was the more raw, honest. It's like
I'll
the
tell you what, that it's like from the creation, the moment that the creation is being brought till the moment that it's being published, there is a time, okay? There's a phase of time that if it gets too long, this phase of time between those two moments, then the creation itself loses its attachment to the reality, because the creation is right for the right moment and time that you did it. And
yeah.
and while you're like being distant from the moment that you created it, you're losing something in its authenticity. Okay. Now, what he did in those months, I remembered. I was really admired what he did, because I remember you tried to produce like a song in a crazy amount of time. Like to
I
also
I
write,
did
write it, to play it, to record it, and to produce it, and to publish it in
in
something like
4 hours or
four
something.
hours,
Yeah.
something crazy in any sense, okay? And I remember that you did that as some kind of like experiment, is whether or not I can do that. And I think that it's set down on this particular point, okay, of like that it will be true to the moment and true to the time, and see how creation like that is being produced in reality. And I think it was very exciting to do it, to see that, okay, because if you are like as people looking for what is the true creation, what is true art or something like that, we can never be presumptuous and know what it is, okay. We can only try to go wherever the lie is, okay, and try to turn 180 degrees to the other way, and over there try to find the truth. Okay, so if the lie is
And shine
existing,
And
is it
shine
listening?
light on the lie if you can.
Yeah,
When you
if
see it, shine light on it.
yeah, and if you can, if you compare it, if you take it to the music world, so if you take a song and it's being over and over being edited, and everybody in the band is like complaining that he wants this to be sound like that and whatever, and the song only comes out, I don't know, year, 2 years afterward, after it's being created. It this is the way that usually the media is doing it. Okay,
Mm,
the mainstream media is this is the technique, and no wonder it sounds really bad for us. Okay, because uh, this space from the moment it's been created, it's given a chance to a lot of people to barge into your creation, to make it like a final product, which is I don't know if how much like aesthetic it is. It's not the question, but it's surely far from the truth. Okay,
mm.
like further than the truth than what it could have been if you just publish it as it is. And so yes, the whole
Uh,
yeah.
I've got a sort of example of that when with a song that I did in 2006, and I we I had a friend who turned up at the studio while I was recording it, and he'd brought his saxophone with him, and he was really excited because he'd literally taught himself to play saxophone the week before, and he was a good, he is a much better guitarist than I am. He's not a singer, but he's an amazing guitarist, an amazing musician, understands music theory and everything. And he sat, and we were really excited in the moment. And I said, "Yeah, do it. Go on, yeah." And he played this little sort of riff over it. I said, "Yeah, yeah, go on, we'll add it." And I added it, but it didn't. We didn't mix it properly, and it's ended up changing the song. The
Hmm.
song doesn't sound like I wanted it to. It still sounds good, but
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like I wanted it to.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think that it's also like the protest that we have also against the media in general. I told you that all the things that I do here on Nash News is kind of like my own personal protest about how they do things in mainstream media. And so I told myself also that the whole creation process of these shows or whatever content that I'm doing will be pretty much the opposite as they're doing it in the mainstream media, because I won't be professional about it or whatever they like, determine as professional. Okay, I will
Well,
do
yeah,
it.
exactly. What is being professional at the end of the day?
Yeah,
What is that?
yeah.
Because
It's
we've been given this template by mainstream media, but that's their template.
no, they kind of like link the whatever they think is like aesthetic to professionalism. Okay,
Mm,
that's the trick. Okay, and it's not the same thing.
no.
Okay, Rich, let's talk. News things. Yeah, we
Yeah, I
kind of
want to
like
hear about the elections. You've just had elections recently, haven't you?
yeah, licking each other's asses for like the last half hour. So yeah, let's talk about the elections. Yeah, we had elections on Tuesday,
And
last Tuesday.
that's the sixth election,
No, 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 fifth
fifth. Sorry,
elections in 3 years. It's kind of like sounds weird in every someone ears that lives in a democratic state, I think.
Hey,
But not
listen,
here in the.
the UK's beaten you on stupidity there. They've had three prime ministers in 3 months,
Oh
and
yeah, I heard the one who died.
two of them weren't elected. Two of them
Oh.
weren't even elected. They were made, Liz Truss and bloody Rishi Sunak.
It's you see that as well, that politics and all the politicians are for every like year, especially like the last years of the COVID and things, like they're getting stupider and sloppier
Oh,
and really
like children, like the
no,
way they.
I don't know how should we put them any kind of like respect with their behavior. They're like taking decisions like they're due, or like acting, or even speaking like they're due. It's like the whole aspect of respecting your leader or something like that it's gone kaput, totally in the last
They deserve they deserve no respect, though. That's the thing. I mean, what we've got is I watched an interview with a young girl yesterday with Glenn Beck, and she said it. I was so chuffed when she said it because she's the only person that I've heard say it. Right? It's not left versus right. It's not Republican versus Democrat or conservative versus liberal, or it's not any of that. It's them versus us. It's the
yeah.
government and all of their systems, and it's a one world government. Don't care what you say, don't care what anybody says. That one world government has been in place for at least the last 2.5 years. Because otherwise, how else do you explain every fucking country on earth, pretty much, moving in lockstep over what's been going on over the last 2.5 years? Or, well, nearly 3 years now. Actually, it's nearly 3 years. Oh my word, we're in
You
November,
kind of,
aren't we?
you kind of like understand, especially in Israel, you can see like the huge difference that there is between agendas that are like domestic and domestic and agendas which are like foreign. Because while we are like doing our own domestic issues, okay, so here we got like a very distinguished, right and left and whatever their agenda is and whatever their agenda is, it's all bullshit. It's all like lie as well. Okay, both their agendas are both lies as well because they don't take into consideration that this whole, whatever goes on over here with this war with Palestinians or whatever, it's totally fake. So so whenever they have to, um, to present some kind of like issue, something like that they have both sides. So they will let us argue about it and divide us as they know. Okay, about those issues, about religious issues, money issues, whatever. But whenever you can see that there's like an agenda coming from outside, okay, like for example COVID or like a space race or like all kinds of or climate change or something like that,
Or the Ukraine war, or the
or
trouble
Ukraine
in
war. Yeah,
Ukraine.
yeah. Whenever you see like this agenda comes from outside, okay, they all line into one straight line. There is
Yep,
no right and left. No,
they're
let's have it.
they're all saying the same things. They're all
Yeah,
using the same buzzwords, the same
yeah,
catchphrases.
yeah, yeah. And
They're
suddenly they're all like brothers together to fight in this whatever they need to fight with, whatever line they invented to that they need to fight against now. And yeah, and you can see
so.
the big difference between the two kinds of agendas.
What I think is it's really hilarious in a really bad way, right? You've got to have a dark sense of humour to laugh at it, but I think it's hilarious. How much money has Israel sent to Ukraine, to Zelensky? How much money?
I don't have a clue. I don't know. He asked weapons. He asked that will help his refugees, whatever. But
But
it's
they've
like
been helping, haven't they? Israel's been helping Ukraine.
I don't know. It was like there was this time when Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister, he like in the height of the first days of the war, or of the first month or so, he got into the conclusion that Israel should negotiate in this war between Ukraine and Russia,
And
and
Russia, yeah.
he flew there to Russia to meet with Putin or whatever, and it's got pretty much demolished this whole idea. And then like
Oh, they don't want peace because they don't want peace.
I was like really afraid at that moment that the whole prophecies from the book of Ezekiel are gonna come true because I thought that he's gonna be involved in this war and both Gog and Magog, which are like referred as the Ukrainian and the Russian people, are gonna go on us over here. This is what is written down in the book of Ezekiel, and so I was
Have
very,
you?
very, very afraid that this is what is going to happen. But I know a few months ago, like Zelensky came over to, he made like a talk to the whole parliament members and asked them to help him, whatever. He said that he's also a Jew and we should like know what the Holocaust feels like and all kinds of like really emotional words like that that should convince us to help him. But I don't really know what went down because also like the whole political of system was under like election time in the last few months, and nobody like cared anything about this besides these elections. No COVID, no Palestinians, no whatever bullshit, climate change, whatever, nothing. Elections. This is important now.
But
Believe us.
the interesting thing is that, like in Western countries like the US, they'll use. Well, no, actually, no. When it comes down to elections, they're focused on everywhere. Then suddenly focuses on local issues, and yeah, it's all about
Someone told me that
inflation
someone
and
told me that once that they can never operate two agendas at once because it's kind of like it will make them
no.
people being confused. Okay, and
Yeah,
not
that's why they
getting
had to drop. That's why they had
that.
to drop COVID when
Yeah,
Ukraine
yeah,
kicked
yeah.
off.
The funny thing is that it happened exactly the same thing like before the last elections. Okay, like during it was like in over 2021 there was like elections in March. Okay,
I
and
remember that. I
yeah,
remember
in March, and then
the Iron Curtain came up, didn't it?
yeah.
They had fireworks displays going
Oh no,
off.
no, 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 no. This was after the elections. This was after the elections, but before the
Oh right.
election, like the height of the COVID vaccine period, and suddenly, like on January, like before 2 months before the elections, oh, no more COVID. Yeah, you can take off your masks now, whatever. Yeah, and no more COVID, and yeah, we get elections now. Yeah, important. And I'll tell you what, and these current elections that we had, they had like a really serious trouble with like people started to stop believing them eventually. Okay, and lots of people said that they're not going to vote, and me as well. I actually did a show on the evening of the elections, and uh,
You felt quite strongly about it. I know you felt very
yeah,
strongly about it. It's like
yeah.
just
I saw kind of like bullshit people coming up on Facebook and start telling you, no, you should elect this one, no, you should elect that one, he's more honest, whatever. And I kind of like felt that I need to regroup this whole topic and think about it properly with the right people. And I brought like five different guests. One of them is Dr. Avni, that he ran over in the head of a party in the last elections. Okay, which he had this whole platform of about versus COVID and whatever, and they wanted to be the Minister of Health, and it got failed completely in the last elections. But I know from my interview, I kind of like I kind of like hope that he will understand the politics lie. Okay, but he didn't say he said that he will might vote on these elections, and he might run again sometime, whatever. But anyway, so I kind of like approached this topic, and it was very important to me to put my mind and to put everybody else's well appreciated mind. And the thing is that we had the situation that we all felt that lots of people are not going to vote. Oh, are you there, Rich? Oh,
yeah, yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Go on.
okay.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
anyway, so the thing went down like that. I think that people over there in the government or whatever is like putting up those elections saw that something lots of people are not going to vote, and this will show a lot of like mistrust between like the people and the government, which is the actual situation as it is. There's a huge gap, hole. I don't know how you gonna define it between like the people are like over here and the government are like over here, or I know in the government there's like some people who are still thinking, that they are like that the people are really interested in what we are doing all day or something like so much unattachment to what's going on in reality. And and with that being said, like we came to the elections, and we really hope that that it will be shown at the surface that that the people didn't went on voting, because as you said, this is the actual question that we got over here. Okay, is whether we are with the liars, with the politicians, or not. Okay, and uh, and over there on elections day, I don't know. I didn't feel like watching this whole day or whatever. I opened up like the shows around like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening to pretty much like an update what's going on, and and then you could see the absolute blunt lie in your face. Okay, the first thing that I saw like on the screen flashing over there in the news: top record voting percentage in
Oh
Israel
my
in these
God.
elections. What do you do when you are like having a friend that no one is going to vote? You're putting in front of your screen the most blunt lie, which is the opposite of the truth. So no one would ever think that there was a problem, with the voting issues or whatever. And the sheeple, oh yeah, lots of people went voting today. Sure, they said so on television. There must be the truth,
Yeah.
right?
Did you vote? Well, no, I didn't vote, but lots of other people did. They said so on the TV.
Such a
Yeah.
blunt lie. It's such a you can see the method that they're like using in order
Dude,
to hide the truth is to
it's
tell the
like
lie
it's like them
opposite of the truth. Okay,
it's
this
like
is
them saying that, senile old men get 81 million votes, the most votes ever recorded in history. It's like that. You tell a big enough lie, people believe it. And it was Hitler or Goering or someone that said that, wasn't it? You tell a big enough lie, you make to tell a huge lie and just keep telling it, and everybody will start believing it.
yeah, that's the way it goes. And I guess at the end, again, and people are not aware of like the absolute basic lie, okay, of which is whatever they put down in those envelopes over there in the box didn't really affected in any way about the results that we saw last at the end of these elections. Okay, which
No,
was
Nia, you're not telling me that you're an election denier. No,
I'm an
no, no,
election
no.
denier.
Of
I'm
course
voting
not.
denier. I'm a democratic denier, whatever you want to call me. But what I saw on that election evening, what, I won't lie. I didn't even saw that. I know what went down over there. It was a fucking Oscar show. Okay, Oscar show. It will be, a good way to say that you like, if you look at the Academy Awards, it will be a good production of something real. Okay, comparing to what we saw this election night, whatever, and they kind of like have this moment at 10 o'clock when they're like rising up, like there's like lines of like that they represent the parties and how much seats they got in the parliament, whatever. So it's all being drained down to this moment. And if you're like believing in politics and with elections and stuff like that, this is your ultimate orgasmic moment. Okay, this is the moment that you're like, whoa, whatever I like invested in it emotionally and physically, it's all being narrowed down to this moment. But if you're like living in our, perception of what the horrible people and and the things that they are doing over there and this whole theater things that we see right now, you look at it like, come on, come on. Should people believe in that what they voted today really reflects on what they're seeing now on the screen? Forget about the weird election method that we got over here in Israel. Forget whatever presumptions that you got about the politics. Okay, is this thing related? Okay, to what people put down in their envelopes, and now it makes you even consider, that what is this thing is for? That why does people go over there to put like a note in an envelope? Like I think that in 2022, people can vote in cellular phones, they can think about some kind of like a secured way that everyone can vote. They don't need to, they usually like spread out lots of centers all over the cities, like that you can go vote. Usually in schools and things like that. Why should they, put everyone on strike on that day and bring everyone to put a note inside an envelope? And
See,
do you have a question? Do you have an answer for that?
I mean, I think that way is if everybody has to show their ID before when they vote, it ensures that everybody that votes is entitled to vote.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's the argument in America about mail-in voting, isn't it? And about people,
yeah,
like
yeah,
them going crazy about having to show their ID when they vote or not.
yeah. No, because the thing is that once you're like partly right, because the thing is that once you're voting in this in an election, you're like signing an agreement with the government, okay, with this corporation, wherever you're like
When you
living in,
vote,
okay.
you're basically signing over your power of attorney.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Essentially,
yeah,
essentially,
exactly.
that's what you're doing.
You're saying in this agreement that whatever you like, no matter what you voted, okay, but the actual action that you're like putting in this envelope, it makes you signing the agreement. And over like in Judaism, I know that usually it's been taken also from like more paganistic cultures or whatever. You have to do this gesture, okay, with your when you're like holding this piece of paper and lift it up, okay, and lift it up, and that makes you it's like signing the disagreement, okay. So as you like pick up this note and put it in the envelope, it's like you're signing the disagreement, and this agreement is it's actually, as you said, it's a consent, okay, for you to let them do whatever they think is properly
It,
with
it's
your money, with your
basically
soul, with
it's
your
basically
whatever.
that it's basically Apple terms and conditions or Google terms and conditions that we don't. No,
You
nobody
do whatever
nobody
you want
knows
to
what it
do.
says in there, man. Nobody
Yeah,
knows what it says in there.
yeah,
But
no,
yeah, and like I said, like you're essentially signing over your power of attorney to you're saying that you are incapable of being responsible for and taking care of your own shit, and you are allowing this person to represent you in
whoever you
the
want.
in the court in the government arena in that because there's different playing fields, aren't there? There's different playing fields: legal, lawful, civil, natural.
Well, yeah,
So
I think that these elections, it's like the showcase of the system. Okay, and the only question is that they're asking there is not which kind of like party will be in the end, which kind of like prime minister will be. No, the question is, are you still believing us? Are you still believing in us on how we run things over here, the system, the way that we are making decisions?
it's not even are you believing us? It's are you still going to go along with this shit? Are you still going along with this? Are you going to go along with this?
Yeah,
Go on, make a vote. Go along with it. Go along with
yeah,
it. Go on.
yeah. So yeah, at the end, BB won. What did
BB
BB
won.
always, BB won?
Hang
BB
on.
always says, yeah.
BB's back.
Baby's back. Yeah, baby's back
BB's
to.
back, baby. BB's back, baby. You know what that means?
I don't
Trump's
know.
on his way.
Yeah,
Trump's on his
yeah, yeah,
way.
yeah. I heard
BB and Trump were good friends, man. They were good friends, BB and
this is what they
Trump,
want
weren't
me to
they?
think, but I don't think it's like that actually. Okay, I don't think that they are really good friends. He actually said that fuck baby like a few months ago. I remember like when they asked him about baby or whatever. But anyway, it's all like personal over there. I don't know. It's like. How my partner kind of like defined it. He said it was they're bringing the big soldiers home, something like that. About like bringing Bibi and Trump and whatever. They're bringing like the big
For the
guys.
final battle.
Yeah, something shit is gonna happen soon. Anyway, so. I don't know. I don't want to go to all kinds of like prophecies or estimations or whatever. But yeah, Bibi came back. It was like after a year of Naftali Bennett, who was one of the worst prime ministers that I remember over here in Israel. Regarding his evilness, it was complete evil. Like
Do
during
you,
the COVID
do you
time.
think that was intentional? Do you think it was deliberate so that people would vote
The thing
BB
is that
back? Because
he,
people wanted BB gone, right? They
nah,
voted him out because they wanted him gone, didn't they?
no, the thing is that it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter what the people actually want or where the people are like now lays in the left or right, whatever. The narrative that matters, the narrative which is now a part of reality, is what the media set according to what they're wrote it down to say. This is the narrative. It doesn't really matter what the people think. It doesn't really matter whatever. This whole election is a total fake, okay?
It's
It doesn't
but
really.
it's almost like they brought in whatever his name is, and like they've brought in Biden, right, to go through COVID and all of that shit, and they're going to bring back Trump and bring back
Yeah, exactly.
BB. You know
It's
what?
pretty much
So to look like they've come back to fix things, so that it will like people will like them more and accept them more.
yeah. I will tell you that for my no for the way that I look at it from the side, I saw that they really promoting Bibi and Trump as really good buddies for the years before COVID. Okay, they had like 3 4 years that before COVID that they had lots of really successful corporations, and he said that he got moving the embassy of the United States
Yeah,
to
I was going to
Jerusalem.
say moving the embassy back to
Yeah.
Jerusalem.
And all kinds of like other gestures that they were like being made by the American government, and they kind of like try to present it that it was done as a personal favor from Trump. And I will say to you that and I saw that kind of like shaking and wobbling during the COVID time, because you see that during the COVID time, Bibi really took this thing really seriously, and with both hands, and tried to show this as something that he can take care of, that really easy to to input those fake pandemic and these orders from the Freemasons or whatever that he got. He was one of the, I think, the main leaders of the leaders of whoever ran with this scam over the entire world. And the other side, you saw that Trump is pretty much like not want to take this thing too much seriously. Okay, he was so much on the fence. Sometimes it's like sick,
Well,
sometimes
he
it's
said like he said that pretty soon it'll be gone. It'll just disappear,
yeah,
didn't he?
and you should inject bleach, whatever nonsense that. I know the way that he kind of like looked. It looked like he didn't really, take it too much seriously. And I think that the guys who ran this scam from the beginning, they said to him, "We should like replace you, because you're not running this thing over pretty well, and we should like getting these injections pretty soon. So we should have someone else to take care of this. Marketing our injections to people." So they kind of like replaced him, and we saw that in those elections they were like fraud. Lots of like all those pictures that they saw of those places, and that they forged the elections, and I know, and the numbers and everything. And the thing is that while Trump was struggling through court with that thing, uh, Bibi already he congratulated Biden for being elected. Okay, without this being final. And on that moment, I saw that what matters is not how much Bibi and Trump are like best buddies. Okay, it's not matter what they showed us on television. It matters that in the honest time, Bibi is like crowning Trump, okay, crowning Biden, okay. Although he's like supposed to be the complete opposite from him politically, okay. It's supposed to be like right wing, and Biden is like left wing. So and then you can see that Biden and Bibi are a lot more closer buddies than Bibi and Trump. Okay, and the way that it's being determined, it's not by how you see them on the media. It's by the years of experience they have. Okay, because Biden and Bibi are like into this,
They've been in
politics
a yeah.
for like
Biden and Bibi have
50
known each
years,
other a lot
for
longer.
like
Yeah.
50 years. Okay, and Trump, I think, is pretty much new into it. Okay, I think that he really got into this politics and things like pretty much late compared to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but everybody knew Trump, but because of his reality TV show and stuff, and
Yeah,
he was a billionaire, and
and about Bibi, actually, there was like a few months ago, like a year ago, something like that. They asked Trump about Bibi, what's going on with him, and he said, "Fuck Bibi." Okay, he said, "Fuck
yeah.
Bibi,"
But I mean, he probably said that because of what BB did when BB basically acknowledged Biden. That
yeah,
Trump would have seen that as a stab in the back, and I think
yeah, yeah,
Trump
yeah,
is
yeah,
somebody that's he's very much about loyalty.
yeah. So I
I
don't
think
know. It's
he's
like
loyal to his friends.
yeah.
You know.
But I don't know. It's like if you're like saying that Bibi is back, so Trump is back, and whatever, and they're gonna be this tag team again, whatever. So I do think that things have happened since then, and I don't know if they're like sharing the same, maybe the media appearance of what their relationship used to be. But we will see. We will see. Let's stop talking about election. This is
Yep.
pretty much depressing, right? Um, and Basically, we want to talk about anti-Semitism and things like that. But I will engineer your show. I want you to put on, if you can, the single that we did together, the
Oh,
famous
what
song called Facebook
the
Prison Blues. Yeah, let's do like a small recess and show this video. I want to be honored with our common creation that we did. I was like coming to your Sunday shows and keep like blabbing about complaining about Facebook being kicked me out and everything, and I told you every week the story of it, and you didn't want to hear about it. But at the end, I felt like the need to close this whole story with a nice song, and I assisted the best singer I know personally, and my good friend, Mr. Richie 007. And yeah, this is what we came out of. Yeah, it's a criticism song about Facebook and lyrics by me, singing and performing and I know editing my words, whatever. What else did you do up there? Recorded it, yeah. And this is Richie, and the melody by one and only Johnny Cash. Come on, YouTube.
I see the flags appearing on my Facebook page, believing they were all here since I don't know when, but I'm stuck in Facebook prison. Can't post it on my own page. I see it just keeps scrolling down, son, down to my tombstone. When I became truth up, Facebook told me, son, just forget about that free speech, that liberty is gone. So I posted about the tranny just to get some likes. And when those Facebook Nazis found out, they signed me out for life. Well, I bet there's some Masons sat in their lodge of stone. They're probably drinking coffee laced with adrenochrome, and they say I shouldn't say it. Why can't they let it be? Instead, those paid pros come on in here, fact check the shit out of me. Yeehaw! Well, if they freed me from Facebook prison and let me back online, I know that I can gather all my tribe up in no time, and we'll leave this Facebook prison and stay the fuck away from all those freaky fucking blue hair. That's all I gotta say. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! Just master. Yeah, don't hear you, Rich. Rich, don't hear you. Mike.
I enjoyed that. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. I wish I had a proper studio. You know, I wish I didn't.
Antisemitism, whatever you say, how you say it, this is the key, okay? It was great as it is, okay? We shouldn't have done that in a
I mean,
studio or whatever.
considering basically what I did was I set my phone on the table, and I set the voice recorder in WhatsApp, locked that on, and then played something through the speakers. Oh, it was through the speakers of my monitor, and just sang and played along with it. So considering that's how I did it, it wasn't too bad, was it?
Nah, it was great, it was great. I love it. I love it. And I love, every time that we are like gathering to do some kind of like a small creation together, I feel that it's, very easy and it smooths down and we like knowing each other's, places in each thing. And it's just a great,
I want to do some more voiceover work for you, man.
yeah, yeah,
I wanna do some voiceover work. That's what I wanna.
we'll do.
Oh,
Yeah, we got like tons of future together. We got like stuff
like
to create. And yeah,
we need to get into doing cartoons or something.
sure. Yeah, sure. I'll go for that. All right. Yeah. Speaking of cartoons, we said we talk about anti-Semitism, right? As part of your
Oh,
Israeli something show, right?
it's a well it's a very it's quite beautiful actually, because that's not the reason that we're talking. This is actually a really, hang on a second, I'm just going to do your echo again because it's hearing myself back. It's very prominent in the news right now, because of Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. They both said some things that are being they basically, everybody's saying that they are anti-Semitic, and the trouble is, what's happened is they've they're talking about something that is actually real. But the way that they're putting across, they've missed. It's like they've missed the point as well. Robert Sepper has talked about it. Robert Sepper talked about in 1666, Sabbatai Zebi and the Sabbateans basically that turned into Frankism. So you had Sabbatean Frankists, and the Franks made it 10 times worse than it was under Zebi. They still exist now. They still exist today. They're conversos. And the trouble is, they've romanticized the story of conversos. But conversos at the end of the day were deceptive. They were very deceptive people. They lied to everybody about who they were. They practiced very questionable rituals and stuff in secret behind everybody's, even, I don't know how deep into families it went, but it's all based around these people that aren't really fucking Jewish. They're
Yeah.
not. They're following they're following a path that really doesn't have anything to do. It's the opposite of Judaism. You know, they feast on the fast days. They
One of
do
the
everything.
principles, yeah, one of the principles of the Sabbatarian is to actually do the things which are like wrong to God in order to defy
Yeah,
Him. And,
to offend him,
yeah,
redemption through sin, to find
yeah,
redemption through sin, to make it so bad on earth that God comes down and says, "Right, that's it. We're having another Noah episode. Basically, you're all. I'm going to fix this and like
uh,
basically let God sort it out. Let God sort it out. That's basically what they're saying. Like, this world is a mess. Let God sort it out. But the trouble is, they're projecting themselves. You know,
yeah,
it's
I
the
think that you can see the actual in this way that they are the method that they are offering. You can see that it's actually something which is opposite from God. Okay, you can call it in any way that you want, but it's like opposite from God. And those the descendants of those of this stream of what they call as Judaism, whatever, is the Rothschild family. Okay, and they are the ones who adopted those this way of thinking. And we discussed, I think, in several shows before about the meaning of course, the Star of David, which is the symbol of the Rothschild family. And we all like,
and also the symbol of the flag of Israel now as
yeah, yeah,
well.
and it's now on
Like,
the flag of Israel. And
how
they're the
how
ones
does
who,
that happen?
yeah,
How do-
because they're the ones who initiated the Zionist movement over in the late 19th century, according to the story. Okay, they said like over in the mid 19th century, there was the emancipation, like equality of rights for the Jewish
Emancipation
people.
Proclamation.
Yeah, for like the Jewish people in Europe, and the narrative goes like that this emancipation brought lots of like anti-Semitism, okay, and all kinds of like riots against the Jews. And so the solution that the Rothschild offered was to bring all the Jews from Europe and concentrate them in Israel. Okay, the thing is that the way that you are like noticing those guys, Rothschild family, their descendants goes all the way to the Templars, okay, and the Templars, whenever they came along to on the Crusades to Jerusalem, the first thing they did, they dug off the city of David in order to find the artifacts, the holy artifacts that are supposedly be there. I don't know if they took them or
The
not or whatever.
well, everything changed after they found the artifact, though,
Yeah,
didn't it? That's when they started. But they create. It was after that they created banks. But they all changed
yeah.
apparently. They all.
Yeah, they created the banks. It's also they created the loans over there in the
Yeah.
Crusades. The whole concept of this, and the thing is that once you see that the Rothschilds are like the descendant of those guys, so once they are like started with this whole Zionist movement, you can understand that they are trying to taking a hold of this land for a certain reason, because I guess they connect this land to the biblical stories, and they still think that there are remains from the biblical story over here in Israel, as we see in the story of Isaac's well in Rehovot. Okay, this is exactly this story. Okay, where like those guys are coming over and take control over something which is still godly, divine, something which is still natural, and put all the science on top of it, and all their politics and their dirt and whatever that they want to hide God with, they will try to hide it with. So and those guys who made the first Aliyah waves, the first immigration waves to Israel during the late 19th century and in the beginning of the 20th century. Um, they were like pretty sure that they will have a state at the end. This is what they promised them, and this is how it got to be that the Star of David is being appeared on the Israeli flag. And this is kind of like it brings it to the more basic question. Okay, first of all, that we will check out and see if it's that clear for us. Okay, what is anti-Semitism? Okay, and then what is who does it refers to? Okay,
That's
because
always annoyed me. That's
yeah,
always annoyed me. The term anti-Semitic has
yeah.
always bugged me because of what Semitic means.
Hmm. Yeah, and the Semitic means it means like the sons of Shem, Shem, the son of Noach. So these are like the descendants of the son of Shem, and by whatever they're saying, by the sources over there, they're saying that both like the Arabs and the Jewish are like considered from the same ones. So, but when you say anti-Semitism, you automatically referring to hate of Jews and not hate of Arabs, right? Hate of Arabs
Yeah,
is the same.
this is the
It's the
thing.
hate of
It's
Arabs.
about the well, it's about Arab speaking. It's about the language. Semitism, like a Semitic, is the language, isn't it? It's a common
Um,
language, isn't it?
yeah. We got like a very common, like the Arabic is pretty much similar to the Hebrew with all sorts of elements. You can see that it's being created in the same, geographical area. Okay, in those two languages, and I think that I don't know about the anti-Semitism itself. It's kind of like made me feel as a Jewish person, it's being pushed by the media all the time since I was a child, and also not only in the media, also like in the consciousness of Israeli families or
Mm.
Israeli society or whatever, and that brings me, the whole to the whole
It.
question of like being in from my personal story of being involved with abroad with other countries because
Mm.
the propaganda goes like this that there are like some Israelis that made it in in other countries, okay, that they're going to other countries and they made it big or whatever, but the whole general approach over here or the sentences that you hear in your family or whatever is that being outside of Israel is it's maybe it looks flashy, but always over there you will be looked at as this dirty Jew or the one who's like stealing their jobs or the one who's like comes there to take advantage of them or whatever. Okay, and not only that, it's being pushed by the media to show us that over there in outside of Israel it's scary, especially for a Jew. Okay, especially if you're a
Mm.
Jew, it's very, very scary place. Okay, because everyone can know that you're a Jew and do horrible things for you. And on top of that, there's a huge campaign running in the last years in Israel about what we call the ugly Jew. Okay, the
Mm.
ugly Jew. Whenever he comes down outside of Israel, the media comes out to show us that whenever like Israelis are getting into hotels or all kinds of like touring sites outside of Israel, they're turning into wild animals. Okay, they start
Mm.
behaving really badly. They started being loud and dirty and do all kinds of like I know. Writing their name in all kinds of like secret places, and whatever they can put it to the front of the television and show us that, oh, you bad Israelis, whenever you go outside of here, you're like animals. I don't know what's going on to you. Okay, so you're better off staying over here in Israel. So it sounds like you can see the narrative.
Because it reinforces. Whoa, echoing
Yeah.
back loads now. Have you got any
Yeah.
earphones, dude?
Oh, yeah. I will put them. Let's see what's going on.
The echo cancellations just
Echo.
stopped working for some reason.
Yeah, are we good?
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so I think about the term of anti-Semitism. Okay, whenever you hear it on the media itself, Israeli media, whenever they treat it, you can see it's kind of like an anti-Semitic event happened. Okay,
Mm.
something really happened. Which is um, being worthy to our consideration, okay, and to show that to you that it's important that it happened. And I will tell you that for me personally, whenever I went down to, I've been several times into Europe and also some other countries, and some of the countries that are really, considered as anti-Semitic, and they have problem with Israel, like Ireland, for instance, or South America, or all kinds of like South Africa, all kinds of like places like that are considered really bad for Jews. I went down over there, and I never encountered any kind of like act against anti-Semitism in my life. Okay, I never see like neo Nazis on the street corner. I don't know, protesting against Jews, whatever. And besides that,
The, the thing
besides,
is, what distinguishes you as a Jewish person to everybody?
I
It's
don't know.
ridiculous. It's like you don't look. I mean, there is a
My nose,
stereotypical
my
look
nose, my
for a
nose.
Jew. There's a step. My dad's got a. Well, actually, no, he's got a Roman nose, but it's there's a stereotypical Jew, but it's generally along the Orthodox lines. And yes,
Yeah,
Orthodox Jews exist, but
yeah,
Jewish people in general, like I said, meeting you just showed me and seeing the parties that you go to and stuff. Some of the videos that you send me, I'm like, wow, man, that was me back in like 2003, 2004. Like after I got out of prison and stuff, I was going to a lot of free parties, and and it was like the weather's a lot nicer where you are, but I was just I thought the music that was playing and everything, I was like, man, Israel's no different. It's like it's just basically you're the same people enjoying the same things in a different part of the on a different part of the earth. The weather's different, the language is different, the culture's a little
yeah.
bit different,
I will tell you
but
another
but the
secret. Another
but the
secret, Rich.
energy's the same. The energy's the
Yeah.
same. The culture might be different, but the energy's the same. Go on.
And I will tell you a little bit of secret. We don't have camels running over the street over here. No, we don't have camels. I don't know
No,
what you. No,
I
I don't know what you
mean
think
that.
about it, about us, but we don't have camels running over here on the
I
street.
I don't think of Israel like that
Okay.
anymore. I mean, it seems quite overcrowded,
Yeah.
like and a little bit run down. There's somebody that I watch. I can't remember what her name is, but she's a Jewish lady. Um, oh God, what was her name? I can't remember. But I used to watch her quite a lot, and she was always basically showing the view from her balcony, and we saw her apartment and stuff. And I remember thinking, wow, that's like it's not all glamorous and glitzy, and it's not like America in Israel. Although when you go into the cities,
Mm.
then that it might be
No,
it's like a city like any other city.
I will explain to you that it's kind of like the ultimate conflict that you have as Israeli. Okay, I told you about it several times before. It's like you have that you're like being born in a country that had the biblical stories over here. That it's kind of like had a tremendous history, and you kind of like even when you go down, you visit all kinds of like various places in Israel. You actually feel like the godly presence laying down
Mm.
over there. You can actually feel it. Now, on top of this godly land, you can see that there's a huge Masonic industrial culture that is being laid on upon this land with all those highways and buildings and all kinds of like things which are like you can see the contradiction to the spirit of this land. And
Well,
in this conflict, me and everyone else that lives over here needs to live. Okay, you have like the micro conflict, the micro cosmos of like the battle between good and evil on how it looks like in a very very dense place. Okay, this whole battle of good versus evil and all of that. So this is kind of like the way that I explain why does Israel getting this kind of like attention, and I will say that this whole anti-Semitism thing is a thing that which is I don't know needs to be. I think that it's kind of like another tool of the of this system over the trans down displays to tell us that yeah we should stay over here. I don't know which for which kind of like purpose or so. Um, Also, like I remember when I started all the shows that I'm doing on Ash News, I used to connect with all kind of other people like you in other countries, and those conspiracies guys are supposed to be the most yeah anti-Rothschild Jews taking over the world, whatever, and I never encountered that. Okay, I
Mm.
never felt like that with anyone. Like you said in the beginning, you kind of like whispered with Mossad, with Roxanne, whether I'm not from Mossad or something like that. But I didn't get this feeling from anyone that I spoke with over the last years that
No,
city as something different. This is,
but you know what it is? It's like when they refer to thing in the media, they'll say the UK and the Ukraine and the US has said this and the UK has said that and Ukraine has said this and Israel has said that and it's like no, a bunch of fucking pathological dickheads in an office that have all got erectile dysfunction and drug addictions and whatever else, all career criminals, are basically playing silly buggers, and we're all getting blamed for it.
yeah. I wanted
They're saying it's us. It's not English people. It's not you American people. It's not
this is
Israeli people.
I will tell you
So
what, this is the actual racism. This is the actual racism, okay? Because racism is not about, you saying bad things about someone else, okay? It's about the generalization, okay? The generalization of like saying that if this person is belonging to that group, so you must be
all of
feeling
that group.
yeah, also it's but doing those things of that group, and this is the actual racism, okay? And this is what they're trying to hide because it's very convenient for them to put us all in the group. Yeah, Americans, British, Jewish, Israelis,
Pass it.
whatever.
They're passing the buck.
Because
They're
because
passing the
because
buck every time.
yeah, because it kind of like puts everyone in this group that everyone in the group thinks like that, so we can take care of them in that way, and we shouldn't like consider if in this group there's like different opinions or something like that. This is the actual racism, okay? And so I don't believe that in this term of like anti-Semitism, which is like connected to racism, okay? Because
It
I don't
is.
think
I
that's the
mean,
same thing, okay?
essentially, it's the same thing, isn't it? We can't because like it can be argued that Jewish is a race, but we've both agreed, haven't we, that
And
there's nothing genetic that makes you Jewish. It's not a
yeah,
genetic thing.
yeah, no, I can even tell you, yeah, that, yeah, lots of Israelis have long nose, and lots of Israelis love to deal with money, and lots of
Yeah.
Israelis, I don't know, doing lots of other things that are like, being categorized as, but there's lots of like other Israelis that are not. They don't have long
Yeah,
noses,
exactly.
and they don't deal with money all day. Okay, so it's
And
kind of
there's
like
and there's people that are born in different countries with no connection to Judaism at all, but who have slightly big long noses and they and they've got an interest in money or whatever. I don't know, but they're not actually Jewish. They're just but they're American or English or whatever. I mean this. What's your thoughts about the tribes of Israel? Have you heard the argument that they actually weren't Jewish?
I kind of like find it hard to kind of to rely on kind of like kind of sources that will explain to me what actually happened with those tribes. I will tell you that the whole thing went really messy with the whole exile to Babylon, the first exile of the Jewish that is mentioned in the Bible. And because what happened is when they got back from this Babylonian exile, they came back, I think, something like about 100 years afterwards. And what they did, they brought down with them all kinds of like habits and customs from Babylon, okay, which was the actual pagan culture over there. And they brought it over here to Israel, and what they did over here is turn it into this culture, this religious culture that we're seeing today. Okay, those what is being considered as a Jewish religious, those got the beards and the hats and the jackets or whatever, and they are actually the ones who are still practicing this Babylonian culture that they
The
brought
Talmud
over
is
there.
top.
It's a
Yeah,
Talmud, it's
heavily
Talmud.
Talmudic. It's
Yeah, it's Babylonian. It's called the Babylonian Talmud in Hebrew because it came from the logic that was back to those pagan cultures over there. So and this is what they consider over here in in Judaism. We have this tefillin thing, okay? For instance, we have this tefillin, which is like this black cube they're putting on this
the
forehead,
black
okay?
cube.
The black cube,
The
yeah.
black cube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so where there's another,
Metatron.
yeah, there's like also the black cube in Mecca, okay?
Yeah.
The Mecca,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So is it a coincidence that they all like worshiping black cubes? It's
No.
kind of like it's not a coincidence. It's the same culture, okay? And yeah, I think that I think that we will put our minds into the end of the show pretty soon because I'll tell
Okay,
you
mate.
what, I'm kind of like in pretty much of like real tied down shooting schedule, okay? And I've
Yep.
been
No worries, mate. No worries. We've been going for an hour and 21
I've been
minutes.
interviewing for like fuck it for like I don't know 7 hours already or something. No, 7 hours already. It's no, you broke that record over in your shows, right? 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no worries, dude. No worries, mate. I'll tell you what I'll do. Like, if you're gonna shoot off, if anybody does want to come on and have a chat, M's there and Jim and Catherine
Replace me!
and so if anybody wants to come on and have a chat, I'll
Free show with
put a link.
Riches today.
Because like we don't have to stop here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. If
Grab a
someone
guitar,
chatting.
sing some songs, and you will.
I'll tell you what, mate. I need to do something to deserve some donations because I need to pay my rent tomorrow and I have zero funds towards it. So
grab that guitar behind you and show some love. People, show some love to Richie.
mate, the trouble is, if I do it in StreamYard, it sounds like shit. I've worked out if I do it in OBS, the sound is better in OBS. It can handle the sound much more, and I've got much more control over the sound because I can see where it's clipping because of the monitor. But yeah, chat in the chat though.
I trust you to do good things with the continuation of this show. I want to thank you, Richie, for having me on your lovely show on Sunday. One of my favorite shows.
Thank you very much, mate.
I'm telling you, it's my ultimate thrill to be with you, the guys, usually on Sundays, and I'm glad that we had this time alone together. Very touching.
Yeah, thank you, man. Love you loads, dude. And
Love you, and thanks to all the
appreciate
chat
it.
room, whatever. I kind of find it hard to follow whatever they say over there, but I'm sure it was worthy and smart things. So that's all.
I've not been keeping up with the chat. I should have been keeping up with it. I've not been keeping up with it, but yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, dude, and good luck with the documentary.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, the guys over here are thrilled. They actually shoot the backstage over here of this show, and we'll
take the earphones out so that they can hear me.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Stuck with you
Just
guys.
thank you very much, guys. Thank you for filming and much love. I don't know if they speak English.
No, yeah, they said
Right.
thank you, Richie, and we got
Cool.
shout outs for the crew. Cool.
Brilliant. All right, mate.
Great work, Richie. This is love. Freedom!
Freedom!